Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Are you tired of managing endless YAML files in Kubernetes? Deploying applications feels complex. Well, what if I told you there is a smarter way to do this? So here comes introducing the Helm package manager for Kubernetes. So in this video, I'll break down Helm and I'll show you why it's a real game changer and I will demonstrate how it simplifies deployments using Prometheus and Grafana for an example. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, we are going to check about what is Helm. Okay, Helm. Helm. So Helm is an often called the package manager for Kubernetes, just like how apt works for Ubuntu or yum for CentOS. The same thing like Helm simplifies how applications are installed and managed in Kubernetes. So instead of writing multiple YAML files for deployment, services, and configurations, Helm allows you to package everything into a single thing called as Helm chart, a reusable template that makes deployment faster and easier. The main benefits for the Helm here is like which will reduce the complexity by replacing multiple YAML files with a single chart. And at the same time, it will support the version controlling. So you can have your rollbacks if something goes wrong and automates the upgrades and at the scaling process also. And it works very seamlessly with our GitHub tools like Argo CD and the Flux CD. So now let's compare how Helm with the traditional Kubernetes deployment approach to see the difference. Let's check. So this is a difference which I prepared between the existing Helm versus traditional Kubernetes deployment, right? So with this traditional Kubernetes, you know, every time you deploy an application, you need to write multiple YAML files manually. So this process is prone to errors and requires a lot of efforts to maintain, right? For example, you can have your deployment file, service file, ingress, configuration map. Okay, so many files you need to write. So on the other hand, with Helm, we use a single Helm chart that dynamically generate these files based on the configuration file called values.yaml. So that I will explain you what is values.yaml, what is there in that. Okay. With one command, we can install, upgrade, or roll back an application without touching individual YAML files. So here I can have explained the features, I mean the main differences between this traditional Kubernetes with the Helm. So as I said, configuration, comparison, deployment side, we can have your, you need to apply, you need to do that one. But in the Helm, we can have one command which will take care of everything. Same thing for the upgrade and rollback also. A single command can take care of upgrade for rollbacks also. Now, in Helm, we have some key concepts we need to understand before going to the next like maturity of this Helm process. So the first one is when you start using Helm, the first thing you heard is like a chart. The chart is a package that contains the Kubernetes manifest. I hope you all aware of what is Kubernetes manifest. Nothing but what are all the different types of YAMLs we are creating for your deployments. So you can package all these things and we can create a chart. So this type of collection of Helm charts, we'll call it as a repository that we can keep our charts in an Artifactory, Artihub, or we can keep it in our Bitnami charts. And once you have this Helm chart is in a running instance, we call it as a release. And as I said, like values.yaml. So in this values.yaml, we have to configure our settings for the respective chart. It's nothing but you have an application, you want to deploy it. What are the values and what is the configurations you want to set for that application? You can give in this values.yaml. And Finally, we have the templating, like will Helm can dynamically generate this Kubernetes like a manifest. It's a very dynamic fashion. By running a single command, it will take care of everything. So now I'm going to take you to the next one is like, so how this Helm will work. Okay. So how the finding the chart and how you can customize these deployments, how you can install, okay, different types of commands we have, and how we can upgrade, rollback, those things and all. I'll show it in the demo time. So let's, it's not demo time, it's Helm time. Let's understand how the traditional Kubernetes deployment and at the same time the Helm type deployment. Okay, let me take you to my server. I'm going to my Helm training folder. Let me zoom first. So here I have some deployment file which I have already created. It's a simple deployment file as I already show you that Nginx deployment. I'm going here. If I create -f deployment, yes, it's created, right? So let's check how many pods are running for this. Yes, I have my application is running with 2 pods, right? And at the same time, you can have some service running for the same. Think so. It's just let me check the deployment. Yeah, it's just a deployment file. I didn't have anything service added to that one. But now I will show you the difference here, how I can do the same process. Okay. I can do the same process and you can ask a question. You are doing only the deployment.yaml. Why can't we can write a kubectl command and we can complete that task? But technically, when you think about the organization perspective or any big application perspective, you have different YAML files, like as I said, deployment services, ingress routes, configuration maps, secrets, etc., etc. So many YAMLs will be there to handle your application. So at that time, you have to write, when you sit and write your YAML, that is a cumbersome. So you cannot write completely. So that is the reason of using this package manager in the Kubernetes called Helm. I'll show you how it will help you here. And what are the YAML files it will give you in a default. So to add that to your project, okay? So now I'm going to just remove this deployment. So it's removed. Now I'm going to run in a Helm fashion, same application. Okay? So I have already have my repo that Helm, my repo that is called my app. Here I have something. Now I'm going to let me do one thing. First, I will do the uninstall my app. Let's second. So nothing is running now. Now I'm going to run my Helm fashion in this way. First, I need to create an application, create a Helm chat. I'll create my, okay, it's already exist. Okay, let me remove this first. Try in a fresh way. Yeah, I removed it. Now I'm running the same command called my app. So now what will happen? Okay, it's telling like it's created. Let's go and check. You see here in this my app, see the beauty of this Helm. It's giving a chart like what is the details about your application version, etc., etc. will be there in this chart.yaml. And at the same time, it's giving you the deployment.yaml, HPA, horizontal pod autoscaler, ingress, service account, services, values.yaml. So everything is created for your application. So when you run that LSA from LRT, now the next step, what I'm going to do, I will. Go to values.yaml. So this is the entire content of your thing. How many replica count you want to run? What is your image? What is the image pool policy you want to set? Or service account name if it's already created. Not, you can give it. And what's your service? I'm just going to change the service from cluster IP to a node port just for testing purpose. On remaining parts and all, I'm just leaving as is. Okay, I'm not going to touch anything. So just if you understand now the required things for your application, it is giving it in a values.yaml. So the only thing is depends upon your requirement, depends upon your need. You can add your details here and then save it. So now my values.yaml is ready. Now I'm going to Helm install my app. This is my application chart name, and I need to use what is there under my app folder. Let me come out from this path. Helm install my app folder. Okay. Now what will happen here is like it will showing you a message that it got deployed under the respective namespace, like whatever the namespace you have declared in the values.yaml. If not, it will go on to the default, the status of it, and what is the revision of that, like a version, first version, second version, like that it will goes on. And as I given my service in this values.yaml, so you can have your node port, how you can get your node port IP address, port number, and how you can check your application using this node IP and the node port. But as I'm running in my own VM, I have my host name. You know, it's my host name. And if I do kubectl pod, see one of the pod is already started running for my application, and I can take that SVC2. You can see one of the services running for my application. And where is my service? Service for my application here. This is the node port. And what's the port number? 31777. Now, what I'm going to do, as usual, take one, go to my Chrome browser, and I'll do as usual my KX master and replace that one with 31777. So now you can see Nginx page. So on whole, the process here, you understand, right? The process is very easy to deploy using the Helm package. And at the same time, if you run Helm uninstall my app, your my app will be completely gone. Don't see any odds for your application. So see how much simpler it is with Helm, right? Okay. Now let's go and deploy something like advanced, like what are the tools we have it in Prometheus Grafana. Using the Helm, how quickly we can deploy those things and how quickly they can come up, right? So we can give a try for that too. So now I'm going to run, as Helm is already ready. Now I'm going to run the Helm repo add. So now I'm going to add a repo of the Prometheus into my Helm repository, which is already there. That's why it is skipping that one. And now I'm going to update my Helm repo. So once you add your repo, you need to update it. Hang tight. Yes, happy helming. And now I'm going to install Prometheus. Okay. So let's wait for some time because it is connecting to that Prometheus registry to get that respect to required CRDs, deployments for the Prometheus. It will take some time. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. But on whole, as you know, like it is a process of how we can quickly get that Prometheus operator to your cluster and how we can bring up the pods for that respect to Prometheus or Grafana, whatnot, anything. Okay, rather than writing this multiple YAML files to prepare your monitoring tool or any application, any big application. So it's very easy for you to create your own application. Okay, and even now you can understand very clearly how the uh, applications which are running in the world, you can understand why they are using Helm to do these things, right? So this is the process they are following. They will start with the application name using Helm. It will create the YAML files, and for the each YAML file, they will go and update the respective values they required for that one. So now you can see it's done. Blah blah blah. It is saying that namespace is created and secret is there. If you want to use that namespace, you can use that, and everything is came up. So now I'm going to check first of all whether namespace is created. Yes, my monitoring namespace is ready. 25 seconds ago. Get all hyphenian monitoring. Cool. Now you can see my Prometheus operator, Grafana operators, everything is coming up, right? So how quickly I brought up my Prometheus and Grafana application, right? So this is the beauty of using Helm. And now I'm going to delete the same. Sorry, spelling mistake. As usual, like how it will take some time for installation, it will take some time for the uninstallation too. So that's what in just a few seconds we deployed and cleaned up the Prometheus and Grafana. So this is why Helm is a must-have tool for Kubernetes. Okay. Coming back to this one. So finally, just want to give you a quick summary of that one. As you know, we have a few comments for this Helm, like Helm install, Helm upgrade, rollback, uninstall, and this. I will provide that in the description of this video. So this makes Helm an essential tool for DevOps and the GitOps workflow. Okay. So as I conclude my video, so what we have learned today, Helm simplifies the Kubernetes deployment and it enables the version controlling, automation, and easy scaling. And it integrates with the DevOps and GitOps tools like CI/CD workflows. And using Helm, we have deployed the Prometheus and Grafana in seconds. Okay, so what's next? So we want to take it to the next level. Try creating your own Helm chart from the custom applications. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow for more DevOps and Kubernetes content. See you in the next video. Thank you.